title tournaments that end up being a complete waste of time, referees challenging commentators to matches, and ring announcers with onion loaf haircuts. Now that's what I call wrestling. Hey there, sports fan. My name is Kit Parsons, also known as professional wrestler Magnum CK, and this is Now That's What I Call Wrestling. The good, bad wrestling show. We are continuing our reaction to the action of the World Wrestling Empire. I'm talking 1995. I'm talking Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm talking about images burned into VHSs that you can smell, baby. That's what I'm talking about. If this happens to be your first rodeo, we'll catch up as we go. But the one thing you need to know is we don't have time around here for good wrestling. We're not going to make time around here for bad wrestling. We only watch the good, bad wrestling. You'll know what it is when you see it because you're about to see a whole lot of it. So let's travel back in time to Tulsa. I'm talking back when every restaurant had smoking sections. The good, bad old days. It's time to give a reaction to the action.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and give a reaction to the action of the World Wrestling Empire! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Ledge with my co-host, Devlin Blanchard. What?
I'm going to do a scene from the movie Raging Bull. You fucked my wife? What?
Night. Hey, what? Oh, welcome, referee Doug McCoy. Gentlemen, I don't think we want to fight right now.
But there's just this random ring announcer for like the first time ever. Just this is the first year he's been allowed to sit at the adult table and not the little kids table. And he's not quite all the way at the table, but like we're baby stepping it. Next year he'll probably be just like with everybody else. But for right now, just pull a chair in between grandpa and your auntie and listen, it's close enough. Every week somebody comes to that desk and has something to say, wants to issue a challenge, wants to respond to something, wants to regurgitate some quip they came up with earlier in the week that they forgot to say earlier but just remembered. Those microphones are the type of microphones that you have to be like right on it. You have to be like right up against it or else it looks fake.
Fuck, they're trying to make it look fake! God damn it!
It's a weird bit of business. They have one referee, really, like one full-time referee, and he's going to now wrestle the commentator who's been ragging on him for months and months on the air. Finally had enough, and he's going to fight. It's actually an interesting storyline. Like, I don't hate it. I mean, especially in 1995, it's somewhat unique. It's pretty interesting. But who's going to be the referee for this match? You know, it's a great scene when you're doing a scene and there's like three people in the scene and then a fourth person walks on and it's supposed to be a big deal. Like, I don't know, maybe he's going to be the special guest referee, the Atomic Playboy himself. And no one references that he's there and he's just left. His ass is hanging on the air and nobody's going to reference it and he just looks like an idiot. That's good. I think that's Stanislavski or something. Playboy wants a microphone so bad, but listen, he's not quite ready. He can go play with the little kid's microphone this Thanksgiving, and next Thanksgiving, maybe we'll see about, maybe he can't hold it, but somebody can hold up the adult microphone for him. Maybe. Talk to your aunt.
Come on, right here, Devlin, right there. There's the bottom line, just sign it. You know,
hot contract action.
Is everybody tired of hearing Devlin Blanchard talk about this? Is anybody ready to see Devlin Blanchard get in the ring?
What a reaction to that action. Hey, is everybody ready for Devlin Blanchard to finally get in the ring? Well, okay, it's happening next week. and it's too late. Sorry.
Here we go, Devlin. This is your chance. The crowd's ready for it. Let's sign it and do it. McCoy.
It's a really, really cool look for like your like cool guy leather jacket commentator to have to like lean all the way over like perpendicular to the table to try to so he can be heard through the microphone. It's tough. It's a tough look.
We got the Southern Express or the top 2 tag teams. I know who they are. We're going to announce them.
Yes, the tournament. How could I forget the world's worst tournament of all time? So 5 weeks ago, there was a dumb finish to a Texas Outlaws match. I'm not even going to pull a clip because I absolutely hated all of it. It didn't make any sense. It was dumb. The Texas Express and the Southern Express and the Express and who cares? But the finish was dumb. So referee Doug McCoy was like, guess what? Texas Outlaws, that was a bad finish to your match and it was super weird. So you're not the tag team champions anymore. Nobody's the tag team champions. And then the Empirical Committee decided that they were going to have a tournament. What kind of tournament? I don't know. A loosey-goosey one. The World Wrestling Empire Loosey-Goosey Tournament of Champions. That's right. The rules of this tournament are, it's not single elimination. It's not double elimination. The rules are, for 1 month, which actually ended up being 5 weeks, they would just book a bunch of tag matches. Kinda. Not even really more than usual, and not even really very consistently. And then whoever did the best in their matches over the course of that time just got to be in the finals, and the ranking was arbitrary, and the Empirical Committee. The Empirical Committee at WWE gets wrestling. Everything's made up, and the points don't matter. In wrestling, everything's made up, and the belts don't matter. Just flip them around to anybody. Who cares? Who cares about the tournament if there's rules? The fans aren't going to remember. Have you seen these big dumb dummies? We can tell them whatever we want. Listen, we're on top of the hill here. We've got the Texas Outlaws. We've got the Southern Express. We've got the Military Express. We've got the Express Checkout. We've got the Express Lane. We've got the Express Mail, M-A-I-L, like a letter sent quickly, a little bit more quickly than usual. These fans will eat it up.
Then we're going to start with number 4, and we're going to go ahead and let you know who those are so the teams can get ready and back to start to wrestle.
So we get the countdown right here, baby. We don't have to wait for it. The top 2 teams get to compete for the belts, but for some reason, unknown, they're going to break it down who the top 4 teams were. And guess what? When you hear these team names, if you wonder why you haven't seen some of them really wrestle, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I don't know what to tell you, man. Wrestling rules is wrestling rules. And wrestling rules are made for wrestling fools.
Number 4, according to the board of directors, the number 4 tag team in the WWE is Predator and Renegade.
I think Predator and Renegade had literally 1 tag match over the course of this time, but still a slap in the face. Predator should be number 1 of everything. He's the apex predator. He's numero uno. If you don't put Predator in number 1, you will get karate'd to death.
Number 4? Number 4. Number 3, the 3rd place team. And remember, the top 2 tag teams, number 1 and 2, will wrestle right after this commercial break for the WWE Tag Team belts. Number 3, and this was a big surprise to me, the Texas Outlaws.
The Texas Outlaws were stripped of their belts, have wrestled tag team matches probably every week, and I think won them. And they're number 3. Fine by me. The only complaint I have is, why are they in the top 4 at all? Why are they in the top 5, the top 6, the top 7, the top 8, the top 9, and so on? If there's a list of 100 tag teams in the World Wrestling Empire, the Texas Outlaws shouldn't be 100, and they shouldn't be 101. They should not even be on the list.
That leaves number 2 is JT Rocker and Michael the Rock Johnson, and the number 1 tag team in the WWE is the Southern Express.
JT Rocker and Michael the Rock Johnson have not had 1 single tag match in the entirety of these 5 weeks. And I don't even care, because if they were the tag team champions, I'd be happy. Because as long as it's anyone but the Texas Outlaws, I don't care who it is. I don't care. I don't care if Devlin Blanchard himself got in the ring and won both tag team titles and Dog McCoy had to do the 1, 2, 3. I wouldn't even care. That would be better than the Texas Outlaws. Thank you for not putting the Texas Outlaws in the top 2 to the Empirical Committee. Thank you so much. The check is in the mail. The money check. from the money bank. I like that the Texas Outlaws have custom like dusters. You know, some of the biggest, like most famous outlaws in the history of the Wild West, the Wild West, had those dusters, had their names very elegantly embroidered into the back.
Let me tell you something. We held that belt longer than anybody.
He said, we were Buffalo Bill longer than anybody. I believe it. I believe it.
Right, this is the Ledge standing with Lightning Lenny and Wild Child.
Like these are the guys that drove in from Canvas from Canvas. Why can't I say Kansas still? Kansas. These are the two gentlemen who brought the car from Kansas. And this, I mean, this is like father-son, right? Like this is like Lightning Lenny and Wild Child look like Lightning Lenny and Sons Auto Sales.
The new tag team of Wild Lightning. Now tonight you've got a tough opponent in Eric Awesome. Any comments on that match?
Well, I'll tell you what, Eric Awesome, he's a great competitor.
This dude's so out of breath. Like, what'd you do before you got here, man? Maybe you shouldn't be wrestling tonight. He's like, Eric Awesome.
But I just want to say right now, Eric Awesome, it's not going to be as easy as you think. I've been a two-time world junior heavyweight champion. Tonight, I'm going to try and make it 3.
Anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, it's great to be here. This is the most elite federation of independent wrestling. World Wrestling Empire, me and Lightning Lenny, we're looking for them tag team belts.
Gentlemen, here it is as promised.
I don't know what Ledge's badge says that he's wearing, but I assume that he was just like the earliest follower of Q.
Tonight, this event runs the total length of tonight's television show. So this match will go till its conclusion or we run out of TV time.
Hold on a second. I know we're having a hard time getting out of the gates on this one because I just keep finding stuff to talk about. But this is the first match. We're 8 minutes into the broadcast, and this is the first match. And right out of the gates, Ledge is like, hey guys, this one's TV time remaining. If this one goes 52 fucking minutes, we're hanging with it. So saddle up. That's bad news. I'm sweaty about this one, guys.
Tonight, the third man in the ring for this match is referee Doug McCoy.
Which member of the Manson family was Doug McCoy?
The Southern Express.
How many people are in this idiot group, the Southern Express? It's like like an entire battalion of Civil War reenacting jackasses have to file out.
You know them as JT Rocker and Michael the Rock Johnson!
JT Rocker and Michael the Rock Johnson are the number 2 seeded tag team in this tournament for the WWE tag team titles. I find that very hard to believe that the Texas Outlaws were ranked number 3 and Predator and Renegade ranked number 4 under JT Rocker.
I've been
Michael
directed to announce their opponents this evening again.
So here's the thing. They're not coming out. They're not going to come out. But what, and I'm only like ruining that surprise for you because one, it's not a surprise and it totally sucks. But also, it's such terrible television because Ledge and referee Doug McCoy start reacting to the fact that the dudes didn't come out like the second that they're announced. Ledge is like, here comes these guys. Oh my God, where are they? Why aren't they out here yet? What's going on? How are they not out here yet? I can't figure out why they're not coming out. We did play their theme song for like 4.5 seconds. It's like so obviously like they know they're not coming out, which on a lot of shows would be a big thumbs down, which on this show, it's not 2 thumbs up because we don't give thumbs up. On this show, it's the most prestigious award we can give, okay? That's 5 sandbags.
These guys taking a nap or something? I can't believe they'd be scared of Tennessee.
Great shot of like the lady leaving. Like, yeah, that's enough of this shit.
Let's go.
Oh, so we're just going to hand the titles to the Southern
Referee
Express
Doug
without a
McCoy.
match?
So what's this guy? If Ledge is in the ring doing all this, why is Beavis and Butthead's dad sitting back here?
McCoy calls for the, wait a minute.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, and a surprise, the Southern Express have been declared the World Wrestling Empire Tag Team Champions.
So then the Texas Outlaws just like apparate out of nowhere and just come into the ring.
By default, are y'all gonna win it that way, boys?
That dirty Persian shark's back flat and floating.
They have declined to come out here for some off-the-wall reason. And them belts just gave to you, just like, here, pretty boys.
I love the idea that the Texas Outlaws are so hideous that they think the Southern Express are pretty boys. You just never know, man. You never know. That's perspectives, dude. One person's hideous, awful monsters is another person's pretty boys. That's just an old-timey saying that finally makes sense.
Let's go! Let's go! We suckered them.
Oh my God. Can we quit? Like, so very clearly the Texas Outlaws beat up the other guys. They didn't come out. And so he came out and was like, oh, you guys couldn't beat us or whatever. And then so the dudes who just won the belts by count out are the good guys. So they got like, yeah, we'll put up the belts against you. And Dirty Dan says into the microphone, we suckered him. No. Is it possible to either love something so much that you hate it, or hate it so much that you need it? You need it like you need air, like you need water to drink, like you need a balanced breakfast.
People paid to see a tag team match. Since the other team can't be here, I'm gonna let it happen right now.
Oh, whoa, it's breaking down.
Man, these ferocious blows that we have back and forth with these guys. Take it easy in there, boys. Someone's gonna get hurt.
Before I could get out, referee Doug McCoy, he's trying to do something.
It looks like backyard wrestling. Like, it's so funny to me, like just how off everything is. Like, it doesn't look like anything that anyone would ever teach someone to do in a wrestling ring. Like, it just looks like what it is, which is dudes that just got in there. Listen, let me be super claro on this. Somebody charged these guys to learn how to wrestle, for sure. But they never did.
They were in the building earlier. I know for a fact they were here. Yeah, I suspect the Outlaws are up to some of their no-good tricks again.
That actually was the indoor record for lowest hip toss that's ever happened. Dirty Dan has accomplished something pretty amazing there, where he got somehow below the canvas before he took his flip bump into it. Really impressive stuff. Dirty Dan just no-selling dude on the outside hitting him. Like, I love it. I love it. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. And I bet you these guys think it's awesome, and I bet they're so nervous about it. Getting a little higher on the hip toss. He's learning. We're watching a training class right now.
Summers in trouble in the ring now, on his back, being worked over pretty severely by the Outlaws. You know, this is a reverse of what has traditionally happened.
Regular Dan got in, did one move, and ran out of ideas immediately. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's the regular Dan we know. That's the first step, is not knowing what to do. Second step is my favorite, which is just start making stuff up. Any time now, he's going to start making up new moves. I understand how wrestling feuds work. I understand that in a wrestling feud, people have to wrestle a bunch of times. But these dudes have wrestled like a billion times. I could not possibly care less who wins this, except I do want them all four to lose.
In the ring, going to work on Scott Summers. He's headed for the ropes. He's up on the second rope, takes a big dive. Oh, and a big splash.
Dirty Dan. Just very carefully. I wouldn't even call that falling. I would call that getting into bed off of the second rope.
Line, Summers ducks under.
Oh!
Catches Bone Crusher with a clothesline of his own.
Nice move by Scott Summers to avoid that collision with the Bone Crusher Bobby Burns.
Oh my God. Tennessee Rebel with all these judo throws and everything. Hey man, maybe he's been training with the From Singapore Predator. It's possible. You can't even judo throw him back. He just rolls right through it and gives you a judo.
You know, Devlin, I was so glad to see you sign that contract. I just want to tell you that.
Wait a minute. What did he whisper in your ear?
I'm so happy with the World Wrestling Empire. I just love the surprises and the non-stop action that the board of directors.
If we've learned anything from these shows, it's this. If there's a surprise next week, telegraph it the week before every 14 to 15 seconds. Just make it seem like it's just going to happen. Like there's going to be a surprise. Just really just hammer it in deep. Just John Henry steel driving man that shit right into the ground. Also, with said surprise, never deliver. Never. Why would you? These fans don't know the difference. They're just wrestling fans. They don't remember nothing. They got the memories. I'd say they got the memories of a goldfish, but they wouldn't remember it if I even told them.
He starts to. Wilder knocks him right back down. That's what. Oh, here it comes. It's a patented move. Dirty Dan Wilder.
Oh, there it is. The innovator. The DDT with your knees. That's the only thing it's ever been called. So that's what it's known as. And that was a choke with your hands. Like, what if let's just use that naming convention for all wrestling moves from here on out. That's a hit in the throat with your hands. All right, that's a thumb to the throat with your thumb. Nice. That's a cheat on the outside with your partner, and then that's a chase on the outside with a stepdad in his underwear.
Out flat on his back in the ring.
Well, I can't help but believe that there were some repercussions.
I have found several of these guys on the internet, like on Facebook especially, and you would not believe how many of them have as their profile picture multiple different times. If you scroll through their profile photos, almost all of these guys, something about the Twin Towers and never forget. It's wild.
What is this right down here in front? Is that like Garth Brooks and Clint Black right there?
No, I think that's Colonel Tom Parman and Viper, actually.
Oh, Colonel Tom Parman, the man who failed Romper Room, and Viper, the man who thinks hot food is a stolen meal.
I know what you did. You're a damn predator. All right, just get the hell out of here. I got a goddamn...
The thing about Prince Devlin Blanchard's joke books that you can rent from the public school library thing that he does is, I hate it. Here's something, I'll tell you something that'll ruin tag team wrestling for you because you'll never unsee it. Scott Summers, who's legit like 6'6" or something, or 6'7", he's a tall guy. You see how he's leaning down? It really looks like, man, even though his partner's right there in his corner, their hands, they just can't, he's so close. Well, notice that if he just stood up straight and leaned over, he could reach easily, but the little trick thing, I don't remember anyone ever teaching this, but everyone seems to do it, which is you put your armpit on the top rope and lean down on it and then reach. So then, because a lot of these indie rings are like 16 feet or whatever, so really with the ropes, you're really looking at less than that, like 14 or 15 or something. So you could pretty easily tag at any point, but when you're trying to tease that tag, you put your armpit there and sink down in, and it looks like you're stretching, when really if you just stood up, you could just be like, oh, there we go. Tag, my turn.
I'm ruining wrestling for you.
The 2 count, he's able to get his Tennessee Rebel is torquing him down, trying to force the pin. Bone Crusher takes a boot to the back of the Tennessee Rebel.
Where is
He's able to reverse the roll-up. Doug McCoy's right there. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
The Texas Outlaws, your new World Wrestling Empire Tag Team Champions.
What was the point of it? What the hell was the point of it? Why'd we take the belts off of them just to do a dumb tournament for no reason and have them win them from the same guys that they wrestled when the belts got held up? How did I not know this is exactly what was going to happen?
The Texas Outlaws moment!
On any given pulpit.
Any given moment!
Any given pulpit.
We can take the best the WWE has to offer!
We can take the fist the WWE has to offer.
I told all you Oklahoma pukes that these would come back to their rightful owners, and I got it, baby. I got it. I love it, and it's mine.
They win the belts and say that they can beat everybody, every team. So every team just comes out at the same time. But like, for what? I guess it's interesting. It's an interesting visual of all the teams being like, okay, well, we'll challenge you. But like, what? Hey guys, he didn't mean it literally. Like, doesn't mean right now. He just means in the future. That's what they should do. That's the only recourse. The Texas Outlaws defending the titles against every single other team in the WWE at the same time. That's the only way we can end this right. That's the only way we can be rid of the Texas Outlaws forever. This is my villain. This whole show is my villain origin story of me trying to get revenge against the Texas Outlaws from 30 years ago.
Well, okay, for the introductions to this match, let's go to Mr. Bobby Young in the ring.
It's time for the World Wrestling Empire Heavyweight Championship.
So he is a ring announcer. So that we do know he has a task. He's not just like a useless automaton sitting at the kids' table.
Introducing first the third man in the ring, referee Doug McCoy.
Even the new announcer has no respect for the referee. He's like, yeah. Hey, it's time for your next match. And then referee Doug McCoy.
The Annihilator!
All right, Annihilator, of course, the four-time former heavyweight champion.
Annihilator's music is pretty diabolical. It's just like 5 songs playing at the same time. It's an intimidation tactic. Overwhelm your enemies orally.
That's all. He's been lucky.
Okay, stop the music. Hard! I want you to cut it out hard!
Standing 6'1", he weighs an awesome 335 pounds.
There's a big difference between 335 pounds and an awesome 335 pounds because one is a bad guy weight and one is a good guy weight.
Pounds of Man Mountain.
Yeah, here he comes, the guy that's so fat when he steps on a scale it reads to be continued.
Like, you just shouldn't, even if you're a bad guy commentator, you just shouldn't say that. You shouldn't be like it's one thing to be like, all right, yeah, I'm a bad guy commentator. That champion, I hate him. He stinks. He really actually cheats, and I'm not a fan of him, and these people are blah, blah, blah. But to be like, here comes the champion, and you're a bad guy, and you're like, yeah, this guy's a real fat piece of shit, real sucks. Dude sucks at wrestling. Probably, kids don't even talk to him anymore. Probably his wife doesn't even really even love him. Probably can't even, I heard they don't even sleep in the same bed anymore.
That doesn't mean anything when you're standing across the ring from a man like Annihilator.
That's right, who, as we all know, is hooked on that beer and peanut butter diet that Silverado has had him on for months, and he is slowly gaining more weight from all that protein.
And then now we just have the good guy commentator doing the same thing to the bad guy. There's a lot of fat shaming going on in the WWE, which I guess, but it just feels weird and out of place. Also, beer and peanut butter diet. I've said it before, but sign me up. Sign me up for that. Is there an app? Is it like Weight Watchers where I can track the points that I have, the most points in a day wins of the most beer and peanut butter points? Can I just mix them together, save a little time? You got beer in my peanut butter. You got peanut butter in my beer. Whoa!
Well, the last time we saw Annihilators in single action here on the World Wrestling Empire, he broke the ring.
Piece just fell down. Yes, that's why we're here. People falling down when they didn't mean to fall down in the fake sport where you fall down on purpose. That's what this show is.
And he's tightening that up on Annihilator's head like a nut on a bolt.
Look at Annihilator's forehead is turning red from the pressure. I mean, that looked like a tomato being squeezed.
You sure it's not just like their blood pressure because their diets are so bad? Whoa.
Seeing strength of that enormous body. course, it would take a lot of strength just to move that body around that ring, actually.
What is going on? I don't understand. Like this match, the commentary of this match is the equivalent of like the level of your mama jokes that were hurled back and forth in like my 4th grade year.
The match between Cortez and Brett Knight. That was fair officiating.
That was a travesty.
He really outsmarted him there. He just kind of wasted some time, and Beast just lost interest and like looked at someone's nachos in the front row apparently, and just gets attacked, gets totally blindsided. This segment, I'm convinced, was written just to like completely cool off and destroy both of these guys' characters.
McCoy is the worst official I've ever seen in my life. Now watch this. Here comes the Beast. Big kick to the gut.
That's one of Beast's trademark moves, the running kick for real in the ribs.
You won't have to hear me run him down after next week because he'll be gone. I'm sending him to Bellevue.
I don't think so. I think you're in for a few surprises next week, Devlin Blanchard.
With this surprise thing.
I just think there's a few surprises.
That's the playbook. Keep talking about the surprise. Keep building it up. Pump so much air in that balloon that it's not even. It's somehow pumped up so much that it can't even pop. It just keeps going forever and floats up into space and wrecks the space station. Costs taxpayers trillions of dollars. That's what you're doing, Ledge.
Better what goes on in that ring.
Watch this Beast with
Better.
Annihilator. I am young and ready for the world. He is old and over the hill.
Oh, and Beast comes in with the giant splash, gets way in there. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
What even happened? So Beast finishes off Annihilator with a splash out of nowhere that neither one of them seem ready for. That's a finisher, man. It doesn't matter. From any angle, whatever angle you're laying in, whether it's safe to do a move to you or not, he's going to do it, and that's going to be it. That's why he's the champ. That, and he probably owns the belt, and so insisted.
I'm the Beast, and I think the World Wrestling Empire has the best wrestlers in the United States. And to prove it, I'll take on anybody.
That's the thing. That's the thing about Beast. He won't wrestle anybody. Not anybody. Anybody. Only wrestles his friends. That's it. He'll take on anybody.
That little interview right there shows the sign of a true champion.
A true champion is one that will only wrestle his best and closest friends.
Wrestling fans, our third man in the ring for this bout will be referee Doug McCoy. Introducing first from Atlanta, Georgia.
Here's the thing. I don't think you have to announce the ref every time if it's just the same guy. Let's save some time here, and you tell me when it's a different guy so that I'm not like, who's that weird guy in there? I can't enjoy this match because there's a mystery man in there dressed up as a referee. I got it. It's Doug McCoy. He's the only one.
Brett Knight.
Let's get that right. That is Brett, the brutal assassin Knight, escorted to the ring by Silverado.
Trying to one-up the Annihilator, but not having 5 songs play at once, but 6. That's the tit for tat of the World Wrestling Empire. It's a Shark Tank. The World Wrestling Empire is like 6 episodes of Shark Tank playing at the same time in the hotel room of life.
Wrestling fans, welcome Scott Storm.
This is the first time we have seen Scott Storm on this show, but it is worth noting that he has just recently come from a FEMA camp where they hand out those space blankets. So obviously recovering from some sort of natural disaster. So our hearts go out to Scott Storm, which is, I guess his name's a little ironic.
New and young talent continues to flow. I say they flow.
This is it right here. You are at the pinnacle of professional wrestling right here. These are not members of the Screen Actors Guild. They're actually athletes out here doing it.
So in the universe of the World Wrestling Empire, this is the real wrestling, and everything else you see is just actors. That I love that bit of lore, where this is actually, there's a bunch of bullshit on TV that you can watch, but they're just members of the Screen Actors Guild. They just have Screen Actors Guild health insurance. These guys are really in there doing it. They don't have health insurance. They don't have jobs. This is what they do, and we pay them very little. Every night they eat what's left from the concession stand at a reduced price.
Warned by referee Doug McCoy about the closed fist. Scott Storm ducks Brett Knight.
Brett Knight looks like, I don't want to say the main bad guy ski instructor from an 80s movie, but he's the main bad guy ski instructor from an 80s movie's friend's friend. Just kind of in the background of the shot. He's not like up front. He's not beside the main guy, but he's back. You can catch him, everyone. They cut a lot of his stuff, but on the extended edition, you can see him a couple times.
Wrestling a bowling ball. The guy has an ultra low center of gravity. Very, very hard to take down.
I mean, like, he called him a bowling ball. Like, how's that a compliment exactly?
Yeah, but he's ugly. Look at him.
Well, right now he's
so
tied up
ugly.
with Scott Storm, and it's hard to tell who's the ugliest, isn't it?
So wait, now the new thing in the last match was both guys are just like out of shape pieces of shit, and then this match is like, man, both these guys are so ugly. What's going on? They're drunk with power. That's the bully pulpit, man. They have too much power. They're sitting over there at the WWE commentator desk. That's the biggest bully pulpit in the nation.
No. Scott Storm, if this guy, if ugly were bricks, he'd be a housing project. Look.
If being ugly was French fries, he'd be an extra large. He'd be an extra large French fries. If being ugly was a set of crayons, he'd be the like 264 pack of crayons. If being ugly was a parking spot, he would be in like one of those really nice big parking spots in like the better neighborhood where it's like you park and you're like, well, that was easy to parallel park in. Wow, like I got so much room in front and back. If they made these spaces smaller, you could probably fit 4 or 5 more cars on this street. That's how ugly Scott Storm is.
McCoy orders the hold broken. There's the Irish whip in reverse. Oh, Scott Storm goes over Brett Knight, reaches in and gets a big body slam. Follows it up with a high drop kick.
I'm not a big Brett Knight fan, and I don't know anything about Scott Storm yet, but I have a bad feeling about this match because I've seen just a couple of semi-capable maneuvers, and that's making me a little nervous here. Scott Storm is a trained wrestler, and I won't have it. We can't do anything with that, Scott Storm. He definitely rode in the Kansas car. Scott Storm is from Kansas. It's the only thing that makes sense. Scott Storm, take your ass back to Kansas. You're not in Kansas anymore, Scott Storm, and that's the problem.
To the ropes, goes with the big whip. Oh, and sticks a boot out there right into the midsection.
Brett Knight getting us back on track with the little sloppy boot thing. Great. We're getting there. I think they're trying to, they didn't get the spot the first time. That's what happened. Dude was supposed to catch his foot. Dude, you were supposed to catch my foot so I could do the little move I saw on TV last week. Come on, man. Try it again. This match in the back, they were like, what do you want to do out there? Like, I don't know. What moves you got? Well, I usually just whip the other guy off the ropes a bunch. Yeah, me too. Okay. We'll just do that for like 10, 15 minutes. Just whip each other around. Cool. See you out there.
Why does he pay attention to the idiots at ringside and not?
Dude, he punched him right in the nuts, like right in front of the referee. He just kneeled down and punched him legitimately right in the dick. Scott Storm just got his dick hole smashed, and the referee's doing nothing.
One of you is getting your dick hole smashed.
Everything Brett Knight does just looks wrong, even though like I'm watching it, like most of it's not. Like it's not great. He doesn't know how to whip someone off the ropes, which is odd because it's all he does. But everything's just a little wrong, and I guess he forgot the spot there. Dang it. Scott Storm had a really cool thing prepared. He'd been thinking about it all week. He was going to jump on that rope and do a little crossbody off it. Brett Knight, not giving the people what they want, but giving me exactly what I need.
Oh! Scott Storm able to duck out of that one. Or Brett Knight, Scott Storm gets up on the top ropes but comes back and...
Damn it. Dude, Brett Knight does not want to do the spot. Stop trying it. He doesn't like it. The first time we could say maybe he forgot. Now he just doesn't want to.
Scott Summers signaling to the fans he's going up. I'm sorry, Scott Storm. Signaling to the fans he's going up to the top rope.
So Brett Knight's trying to get on his feet. Oh, high flying sunset flip, not able to pull it out, and Brett Knight gets to the ropes. Referee Doug McCoy pulls him off the rope.
What is that?
Dude, Doug McCoy is out of control. He's taking belts. He's letting people get punched in the jimmy, and then he's affecting finishes. I can't make heads or tail of this guy.
Doug McCoy! Doug McCoy!
He said, Doug McCoy.
Come here, boy!
You're my boy.
You've led me right to
You loved me one too many times.
We got a big surprise for you, don't we, Devlin?
We got a mix of eyes, don't we, Devlin?
It's gone, courtesy of Dirty Prince Devlin Blanchard.
Here we go.
How many names do you need? But like Devlin Blanchard went to the wrestling gimmick restaurant, pulled open the menu, and was like giving a look over, like, all right, what we got on the menu? We got capes, crowns, Prince, Dirty, all kinds of names. Moniker. Oh, Dirty Sneakers, good. That matches with the Dirty moniker. That's really good. Okay. Parental advisory T-shirt. Oh, sunglasses, cool, like race car sunglasses. Great. I'll take it.
Friday, that's right, Friday, March 3rd, the World Wrestling Empire returns to the Air National Guard Armory, 4600 North Mingo Valley Expressway. Be a part of the audience for a TV taped event. Get in your car and head for Owasso on Highway 169 to the Air National Guard Armory, 4600 North Mingo Valley Expressway for the World Wrestling Empire. Friday, March 3rd, doors open at 7, bell times 8 o'clock. All kids, $1. Be there.
All kids $1. That's nuts. I love that. $1. Why even charge anything? Like, just say kids free. Even in 1995, like, what was $1?
Oh, we've had a great night in the World Wrestling Empire tonight.
Hey, we didn't. It was bad news bears tonight, guys, and I'm really sorry because I feel responsible. This was our 11th episode of this particular WWE deep dive, and I thought I was leading us down the primrose path, man. I thought we were going to be rid of the Texas Outlaws, and we had a waste of time 5-week tournament, and now they're just the champions forever. The Texas Outlaws are our champions forever. Now that's what I call wrestling.
God, I go to church every goddamn Sunday. You gonna bring the demons out of me?